Interesting, we have an economy that we say we're open for business. So foreign investors keep promises, direct investors, folks who want to build brick and mortar within the four corners of the country. We've got 83 billion, almost $85 billion. Why do they keep making promises and they're not bringing the cash in? What's their concern about Nigeria that it makes so much, 85 billion promises, just about 1% of that in cash?
Yeah, 3.5, maybe 2% of that in cash. But you see, there's a time between when you make a promise and when you make the final investment decision. The final investment decision will definitely be made, I do not believe, until after the election, when they are sure that everything is okay. But also, there's some things that we need to do. We privatized power 4 or 5 years ago. We were talking about power, and our power is a complete mess. We need to take those decisions. We need to sit back at times and review some of the policies that we have made. If it's not working, let's change it. If it is working, then let's keep it. If it's working mildly, then let's modify it. This is a situation. We cannot have policy rigidities and structural imbalances at the same time. Those two things are a recipe for chaos.
Recipe for chaos, recipe for a problem, when the BPE yesterday also announced, and in the news, that they want to go back to 2007 and unpack or review, as it were, or the port concessions done under the Obasanjo's administration.
Well, you keep on going backwards. The thing about life is about the future, not about the past. The past is a guide. So I think Nigeria, we need to get over this whole past recrimination. Let's go forward and deal with the problems. Let's deal with the Lagos-Ibadan Rail, which is under construction now. Let's deal with the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Let's deal with the Kano, Kaduna, Abuja. But let's have the pipeline. Let's get refinery, Dangote, God bless him, to actually begin to fast track his refinery so that we don't have to import and have all the subsidies. There are so many things that we have going for us, but we need to deal with it, and we need to have the courage, clarity of purpose, and audacity to deal and talk about the big issues. Enough is enough of all of this going back to the past to exhume things that really are not going to make a difference.
Insecurity is still a big elephant in the room, Mr. Rewane.
Yes.
Deadly, violent attacks.
Yes. You see, like I said at the beginning of this program, that the time between political misunderstanding and political violence in the past used to be very long. Now it's getting shorter. So what you are seeing as insecurity, what you are seeing as militancy, of course, the Niger Delta guys are called off there, right, is two things. One, it is an attempt to shake down the government to extract concessions and cash. The other one is that this is natural with this period. So the intelligence agencies, the law enforcement agents have to be seen to be, objective, to be non-partisan, and have credibility so that they can call people to order. There cannot be social unrest in the midst of political uncertainty and backed up by political misunderstanding.
Where do you see us moving in terms of the investment circuit? Of course, you talk to international investors around the world. What's their take in the second half as we go? You've seen some of the earnings, and you can see the impact of the Apapa port in some of the numbers. You've seen the impact of electricity, transportation, or logistics beginning to eat a little bit into the finance cost. So you are the Lagos Business School with the rest of your team. What are you folks in the C-suite talking about and thinking about and will be doing moving forward in the next few months? What would you advise?
Like I said, all of this has been factored into the system. Everybody in this country, both domestic and international investors, expected that the third and fourth quarter was going to be slow because of politics. But what we didn't factor in was a disruption to business. We are not seeing that disruption yet, but we are beginning to see the cost of these things, the logistics cost, the finance cost, the fact that at this time interest rates should have gone lower, but they haven't gone lower, and they are not going to go lower in the near future. But people are comfortable with the fact that the reserves are healthy, even though sleeping, that the Naira is strengthening and appreciating. There's some kind of convergence, divergence, in the sense of 362, 358, but then two moving in different directions for now. But directionally, the Naira is fine. In terms of value, it's closer to its purchasing power parity. So those are critical things. But the truth is that it's a maturing and growing democracy. And investors already know this. There are two things that are bothering investors. One is that the interest rates in the US are going to go higher, whilst at the same time, we are going to be seeing political uncertainty. These two things move to compound external imbalances Those external imbalances have to be managed. The government of President Buhari is doing as best it could to manage these external imbalances while trying to keep domestic sanity. But it's a tall order because of this deflection, defection, dissatisfaction, which is all part of political drama. But well, you see, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. So that's what it is. 24 hours is a long time in politics, they say.
Mr. Rewane, thank you very much for your time this morning. The CEO of Financial Derivatives Company and economic consultant at Channels Television. Thank you very much for your insight and perspectives on the political landscape.